Bruh, what a week. What a week we've had.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Was it a major bruh moment for you, Aiden Green?
It was a major holy shit moment.
Do you still believe what happened, or?
You know, genuinely on Sunday I woke up and I had this like weird
Was it a dream?
I had a fever dream, you know.
Yeah.
Meeting Michelle Gomez, which is an exclusive interview you'll see very shortly in this episode.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. And then like having a really good night with Crispy Pro.
Crispy Pro.
Getting drunk at the pub was just like
Yeah, it got a bit groogy, didn't it? It got a little bit groogy.
It was really cool,
Last
man.
15 minutes, you know, some things happened, but we came out alive.
Crazy times.
It was fine.
Crazy times.
Yeah, no, it was one for the books.
I gotta say,
one for the books.
Just from me, just setting up the weekend, it was like, you know, Doctor Who at the moment, it's not all that interesting. Let's be honest, it's pretty like boring right now whilst we're waiting for the 60th. And then, you know, lately, a few social pressures of life feel like they've come on to me lately. And then also as a third thing, my beloved Fremantle Dockers have done absolutely terrible. We watched, I saw the worst game I've ever seen them play the week before Oscar came. And then on the bloody weekend, mate, I felt like I was reignited with Doctor Who passion after meeting Michelle Gomez, as well as just having great chats with you and Crispy for the whole weekend. I felt like a kid again. Like for 3 days, I had I was very in the moment for those 3 days and did not care about anything sort of outside of that. And then on Saturday night, after meeting Michelle Gomez at the pub, we watched the bloody footy, and Fremantle Dockers pulled off a fantastic win. So I was a happy boy, mate. Happy boy.
Wow.
What are your weekend reflections?
Well, it was intense, but it was so fun.
Good intense.
But we didn't have like I don't feel like we had like 2 seconds to think really. Like it was just so full speed ahead, like 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
When we just did it, we got it done.
Especially
a lot of filming.
You'll see it all in the vlog that Connor's putting together. That will come out later this week.
Yes. Yeah, it will be, yeah.
There was a few touch and go moments in terms of getting a lovely interview with the one and only Michelle Gomez. So
yeah, you're going to meet Lionel, our good friend.
Lionel. Top bloke, R.I.P.
Lionel. Yeah, I think, I'm glad I filmed as much as I did, but considering I used to vlog on YouTube, I feel like I haven't done it in so long that like doing it that extensively, because I filmed from Thursday to Sunday fairly consistently.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of weird to like jump back into that.
Yeah, pick up where you left off.
It was weird to like I kept filming everyone, and everyone was like,
"What are you doing, man? Just
I found filming Aiden eating his breakfast, and he's like,
Let me eat in peace.
Let me eat my beans, bro.
Let me eat my beans. Let me tell you, we got some beans for you guys today. Coming up on today's show, the quiz returns, backed by popular... I can't think of the word. Demand. Sorry, I'm a bit crook at the moment. Backed by popular demand over on Twitter. The quiz returns. Connor and I will be facing off to figure out who is the best Doctor Who fan the course of the next 10.
This guy right here. I'm going to be a 2-time champion, baby.
I gave you the last one.
No, you fucking did.
We're going to be talking about the latest set picks from Mel and Doctor Number 15. Then we're going to jump into our Spyfall review of Part 1. Then you will hear our lovely interview with Michelle Gomez. Oh my god, and we talk about the 60th and
a little bit of tea from the 60th.
Bit of tea, as well as a bit of Sacha Dhawan tea as well. That ties into this episode, which is fantastic.
This is Sacha Dhawan's first episode.
That's right.
That we're reviewing today.
And then we're going to round off today's episode with Part 2 of Spyfall, doing the review of Part 2. So if you are excited for that, then make sure you subscribe, like the video. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of Series 12. That's our aim. 9 weeks. Can you do it? Can we do it? I don't know.
Why are you sitting there?
Why are you sitting there not pressing subscribe?
Just press the button. It's free, isn't it?
You're dumb if you don't. We have great guests like Crispy Pro
want to see us. Michelle Gomez,
Josh Snares,
and the rest.
All the amazing ones. They've all been here, and they all loved it. Okay,
they did.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor if you want to give us some dollars, just to make that make sense. We have a Ko-fi. $50.
Yeah.
You don't have to give us $50.
$50.
But if you'd like to give us some spare change, jump over to the Ko-fi. All of the money goes towards upgrading our gear, so we sound a lot better than we do right now. Connor, there's one last thing that you always like to say.
Yeah, well, there is a thing called a bell.
Bell.
Okay, you can hit my bell end and Aiden's bell end. And the little thing, if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube... Oh, okay.
Sorry, I thought you were wrapping up. I'll turn it down.
If you're not on YouTube, you can't hit the bell. Actually, I think you can on Spotify. Just hit the bell. What do you want me to say? Hit the bell.
Can I post? Can I press play?
Hit it now, Aiden. Well done.
50% cat.
Back at it again, new episode. If you love Doctor Who, this is the place to be. There is no other show on the internet like this show.
That's
if you don't believe that, then you're the one who's crazy, not us two.
We used to always, at the start of every new season that we were reviewing, we used to sort of do a brief pitch of what our show is. Yeah, we used to say, we're the 50% Doctor Who podcast.
Sub.
We're called that because we talk about Doctor Who, half the time, usually a lot more than half the time, but we allow ourselves to go off topic and do other things, and I think we have a good laugh along the way, which is really awesome. Starting our final season of reviews here, Connor.
Oh, fuck, we are.
Final, and then we're out in the deep end figuring out what we're going to do with this podcast after that.
There are so many plans though, Aiden. It's not even funny.
We've got a lot of plates spinning. Yep. Nope, we don't.
We have a few.
We pretend like we do.
It's not like we're going in like completely blind.
I just can't believe that when we first made this podcast, in the podcast description, it was like we're going to review every episode from Rose to the Timeless Children.
And is it children or child?
Children. And
that's how much I've watched it.
And so now it's like, holy shit, we've actually almost finished that hurdle, which is massive. So, pat us on the back and give us a bloody subscriber, please.
Are you going to keep going through and finish the rewatch? You're going to watch like Flux and...
I don't know. We already reviewed them. Maybe I'll watch them again. I'm
going to watch them again. I feel like I'd just be wasting the... I feel like I'd just be wasting the opportunity.
Yeah. So
I'm just covering my nose when I inhale and sneeze.
It was a cough, not a sneeze.
It was a bit of both.
It was a cough.
It was like a sneeze.
No, that's not that. I think I would know if mucus was coming out of my nostrils, mate.
You got mucus? No, I just feel like it'd be a wasted opportunity if I didn't finish the rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch, and I want to watch Flux again. So I'll hit up Flux and then the free specials, and I think I'll be a happy boy. I gotta finish Jodie's era. If anything, it's sexist if I don't.
So you're saying if I don't, I hate women?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Looks like I'm not watching it then.
I think your misogynistic qualities are coming out a little bit if you don't rewatch Flux.
Looks like I'm not watching it then.
Okay, so funny.
In season 2 of the podcast, we did a quiz where every single week...
That's right.
Connor and I think one time Dylan sent in some lovely questions, little bits of quiz, Doctor Who trivia to figure out who was the bigger Doctor Who fan. We thought, for old time's sake, in this final season of reviews, we'd pick it back up, and at the end, so whoever gets the most correct after each week gets 1 point, and then after the 9 episodes, whoever has the most points is the winner.
I'll keep a tally today about who's got the most.
Thank you, sir. And we don't yet know what the prize is, but last time the prize was a Pating pot vinyl.
Someone said, I can't remember who it was now. Someone said it should be a Tim Shaw pop vinyl.
That would be funny.
I think that's cute.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
Okay,
can I just say as well though, before we jump into this, it got so heated last time, and I remember I'm surprised Dylan still talks to me because there was one time when Dylan sent in questions. And I can't remember what it was. You can probably go and find it. But you got the most easiest question, and I got the most hardest question. And I generally was mad.
I swear one of them...
You can actually tell in the audio, I'm like, that's ridiculous. You got the easy... And you actually... I'm still to this day defending myself.
I swear one of the questions that I got was like, name the 3 members of the Paternoster gang or something like that.
Yeah, and I got like what companion gets referenced in... Before the Flood or Under the Lake, one of those.
I don't know.
And I was like,
isn't it Sarah Jane?
Are you serious? No, I think it's either Rose, Donna, or Martha. I think it's Martha.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, for old time's sake, then, of course, we have Dylan standing in questions for us again. And I was thinking maybe it would be fun for us to always have a listener send in questions. And Dylan was obviously like notoriously our first ever listener and has since become a really good friend of ours. So I thought maybe it would be fun if we get listeners to send in the questions every week. So maybe I'll put up a post on Twitter about that and see if we get much interest. And just a cool way for people to get involved in our final run of reviews.
Get Faris to do it.
All the goats, mate. All the goats.
All the goats.
All right, let's shut up.
All right, let's do it.
Let's shut up and let Dylan talk, okay?
All right, let's go.
So the 50% weekly, I'm assuming it's going to be weekly, quiz is back. Some of you may remember, you probably won't because like 2 people listened back then, but you might remember that I did host a quiz segment during season 3 of the podcast, and it did lead to some fights. Aiden and Connor did. Connor punched Aiden.
Did I?
On the show? You won't be able to see it because they cut that part out. And then Aiden also threatened to run over Connor's legs.
It wasn't
very nice. Very brutal. But yeah, hopefully that will happen today. What's going to happen? We're going to do the same sort of format as last time. So for those of you who don't know, or if you can't remember, I'm going to ask 3 questions. I'm going to ask both Aiden and Connor. So I'll ask Connor the question, then I'll ask Aiden, and then I'll reveal both the answers. And we're going to go 3 rounds. First round is easy, second round is harder, and the third round is the most difficult round in my opinion.
Host.
Okay.
Taking it seriously.
Okay, so this first question is for Aiden.
Okay.
And it is, what was the name of the only episode of Doctor Who that aired in 2016? And then Connor's first question is, the first reference to the Cybermen in New Who was in what episode?
Before we get into the answers, do you need a bit of time to think?
No, I got it.
You got it? All right. Mine, 2016. Only episode to air was the Return of Dr. Mysterio.
That's true. For me, so it was Dalek.
Dalek? Cool.
It was Dalek.
Cool. All right.
I think we
Dylan.
both got
So
this.
the
Take it
answer
away, baby.
to Aiden's question, what was the name of the only episode of Doctor Who that aired in 2016, was of course The Return of Dr. Mysterio, an episode that I think is actually quite good and a little bit underrated.
Get out.
And then the answer to Connor's first question, which was the first reference to the Cybermen in New Who was in what episode? And that episode was in Dalek,
Yeah.
because the
Well,
Cyberman's
these are
head
good questions,
features in
actually.
Easy
Van
though,
Satten's
easy.
little museum. Okay, these next set of questions are going to be multiple choice.
Ooh.
So first up, we have Aiden's question. The question is, how old was Matt Smith when he was cast as Doctor Who? Is the
You said
answer
this the other
A,
day.
25, B, 26, or C, 27? And Connor's multiple choice question is, in the episode The Hungry Earth, the Doctor, Amy and Rory go to what year? A, 2022, B, 2026, or C, 2020?
Okay, so
Yeah, you said this the other day.
I literally the other day was like, wow, Matt Smith was only 26 when he was cast as the 11th Doctor, so I'm going to lock in a juicy 26 there. Connor, do you have an answer?
Yeah, it's 2020, and I think the only reason I remember this is because I think everyone made a joke about Amy and Rory doing like the COVID,
The social distancing.
distance walk. So I'm going to go say C, 2020.
Let's have a
So
listen.
the answer to Aiden's question, how old was Matt Smith when he was cast as Doctor Who, is 26. And the answer to Connor's question in the episode The Hungry Earth, what year did the Doctor and the TARDIS team go to, is 2020.
Okay, good.
There we
Which
go.
is strange because in 2010 that felt like the future, but to us that is now the past.
I love
You know, because
Time
that's
travel.
how time works. Now, this final set of questions should be the easiest. I said it was the hardest round, but this is actually about the 50% Doctor Who podcast itself.
What?
So my first question for Aiden is, what was the first episode of the 50% Doctor Who podcast to be filmed and uploaded onto YouTube as a video? And then Connor's question was, what episode did the first guest appear on the show? And if you could tell me what the guest is, I will give you a bonus point.
I think I know
Wait, why can't I get a bonus point? That's just giving you the win. That's just because that's easy. That's easy. I could get so many points right now if I wanted to.
Do you know? I don't know which one we filmed. You know that?
I think the first one that the video was filmed. Oh, I almost tricked myself. That's like a trick question. Holy shit. Because I was about to say the first one filmed and uploaded was A Town Called Mercy. Because that's the first time we started regularly uploading the footage. And that was just on Zoom with, I think, Dylan. But what I've just realized is that in series 5 to celebrate 1 year of 50%, me, you, and Dan recorded in person at Dan's and uploaded the video just as like a special
I'm not nodding or agreeing. Or
treat.
anything.
So that is the first one. That's the first one we actually filmed the footage and put out there was our review of The Lodger.
All right. I almost tripped myself too then. I thought that our first guest was in season 2 with Girl in the Fireplace with Xavier, but I'm 90% sure our first guess was Boomtown and with Dan.
Fuck. I can't believe you get a bonus point for that. Dylan, you can't make these rules. I could have told you that shit. It was the easiest bonus point ever. All right, for future reference, if we're giving out bonus points, dear future writers-ins, we both have to have the opportunity to get bonus
What
points.
are you complaining about? I love this.
Connor, this is making you eligible for 4 points and me eligible for 3 points from the start.
No, I could have gotten that wrong. You don't even know. It could be wrong.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
It's the end of the show.
I'm done.
Or Aiden can decide whether you get a bonus point. It's not up to me.
Yes! You get no bonus point, motherfucker! No bonus
that's not
point!
fair.
No bonus point for you, bitch! That question was too easy for a bonus
So
point.
why? It wasn't too easy.
It was so easy!
It wasn't
we both
too
knew
easy.
the answer.
I didn't. I literally said I was about to fucking say Xavier.
Yeah, well, I was about to say a different answer for mine as well.
I'll take half a point.
No, that's not how this works.
it is.
If you get out,
Dylan literally said that.
It is not fair for you to be eligible for 4 points and for me to be eligible for 3 points.
You're such a. What if? Are you done having your tantrum?
Dylan has just said that's how this works. I can choose, and I
Are you
choose.
done having your tantrum?
This is a dictatorship. This is what this fucking quiz
If
does to
I
us.
lose
no,
by 1
don't, I don't want
point
to
at
fucking
the
hear
end,
it.
I'll be like, this motherfucker, I would have won.
Connor, we're both on. No, that's not how it works.
It will.
It's fair and legal. It's as Dylan said, you can have a point. He also said that if I choose you can't, then you can't. So it's fair and legal. Shut the fuck up. Let's listen to the answers.
You're getting a bit into this, aren't you?
But yeah. So the answer to Aiden's question, what was the first episode of the 50% Doctor Who podcast to be filmed and uploaded onto YouTube, was obviously The Lodger. That was the
fuck
1 year
you,
anniversary
I
show.
wouldn't have guessed that.
And that actually featured the answer to what episode did the first guest appear on the show. And the first guest was obviously Daniel Aid in the episode Boomtown.
Yeah, okay.
In the very short-lived idea that once a series, the... Connor and Aiden would get drunk, which that quickly in series 4 turned into almost every episode.
That is true.
Yeah, Planet of the Ood, guys. Let's talk about that. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed doing this little quiz. I've enjoyed making it and asking questions. I hope no one wants to fight me or argue with me.
I want to fight Connor.
Because quite frankly, I do not care. I wish you both the best of luck. Personally, I'm rooting for Connor to win. Fuck you, Aiden. Only joking. I'm secretly rooting for Aiden. Fuck you, Connor. Or maybe I'm rooting for... I don't know. Yeah. I'm rooting for Xavier. That's my guy. Shout out Xavier. God bless.
Dave.
Cool. Thank you. On to the rest of the show.
All right.
Aiden, you better not cut any of this out. I want all of this in the show.
No, Dylan,
every single bit of it.
Don't do this to me.
And I'm all of it.
Fuck.
All of it in the show.
Fuck. All of it.
I'm going on purposely. I want you to... Okay, I'm gone now.
All right.
So literally, I was kind of memeing before about...
50%.
Yeah.
I was kind of memeing before about how we'd actually get angry at each other again, but considering what just happened then, that was pretty... And we are tied 3-3.
I'm not happy with myself.
Why?
I got angry.
Well, that's just part of the show.
I didn't want us to get torn apart, and
Well,
now
it seems to be
it's
happening.
fucking happened.
I mean, I should be winning right now, but you
That's-
had a tantrum. So.
Dylan, they fair and legal said that if I don't want you to be eligible
Shouldn't
for a
have said
bonus
it
point,
if it's not gonna. Shouldn't have said it.
well, I think it was like a
Got me hyped up for nothing.
no, but it wouldn't have been fair. Come on, if we were in, we're moving on. We don't have time for this shit. We've got so much
Yeah.
stuff. We have Michelle Gomez to get to soon.
All I hear is a fucking
Oh, man.
crime baby.
All I hear is someone who wants to rank up some extra points because they know they're not going to hold up for the rest of the season. Okay,
Mate, that fucking Tim Shaw pop vinyl was mine. Okay.
Connor, filming pics. The pictures of filming.
Yeah.
We have
Got me
seen
like this, bro.
what filming pics, which I will put on screen right now. You can see a Ncuti Gatwa and a Bonnie Ride, the 15th Doctor, and Mel.
Melanie.
They are on a bike. Wowee. And if you want to search the internet for a little bit more, you can see a lot of pedestrians running, sprinting around, looking up at the sky, going, ah, as they drive away from, I guess, the threat that is in the sky above. And Mel and the Doctor zooming away from it. What are your thoughts on this? Come on, don't sit there silently.
What do you want me to say? I got fuck all to say. Okay.
Oh, fucking
This is this it? Is this all we get? I'm over it.
Oh, you're mad.
I'm done, Aiden.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right,
Okay, I'm tired of being Mr. Nice Guy.
Should I move on with the script?
No, I'm not finished yet.
Okay, never mind.
I'm like, I'm done, and I'm like, no, don't move on. no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's great. But, you know, seeing Shooty on set, I remember there was a time when, I think earlier this year, we didn't see Shooty on set at all. Like, we had like a 1 pixel of Shooty in like a beanie. And we
that
were
was
like,
funny, yeah.
Like, yo, now I'm getting used to seeing him every week. And yeah, it's really cool. It's really fun. It's cool to see like Bonnie Langford.
Yeah.
Really cool to see her again. But is this really getting me like, is it getting my cojones going? No. I'm mad, Aiden. I literally edited a clip today about how I'm not feeling hyped. And I get it. Like, it's fun. It's cool. It's interesting. But at the moment, I'm just not feeling that hyped. And I'm scared, Aiden. I'm scared. I'm shaking in my boots at night. I'm tossing and turning. I can't sleep. I'm thinking about Doctor Who and how, well, is it going to deliver? You need episodes to deliver, you know.
I thought it looked really cool.
Good.
But I'm like, what else are they going to show us at this point? You know, they you know, Russell shared the photo himself, so clearly, like, this is another little part of like a little bit of marketing and stuff. So that, like, I'm happy with that. Yes, I would love to be getting some form of 60th hype at the moment, you know, but we've been down this rabbit hole. We've spoken about this enough. I think in terms of what they're doing with Series 14 at the moment, you know, it's no different than what they were doing in Series like 5 to 10 or whatever, you know, just releasing a few official stills. I'm just happy to see so much location filming. Yeah. That stuff always makes me happy, and seeing those guys on a bike, it's just awesome. Like,
let me rephrase. I'm not saying that like
you're angry.
I love what they're doing with the filming. I'm more just like, you know, there better be a damn good reason why we waited till the ass end of 2023 to have these free specials. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure in November we will be nutting and absolutely loving it.
Great, Aiden. You made me sound like a fucking whinging baby just then.
I mean, you did sound like a whinging baby. So,
well, I come here every week. I'm filming a show, okay? Y'all can get angry at me all you like, but I'm here to entertain.
Y'all can see
I can't lie if I don't get excited about seeing Shooty and Bonnie on a fucking... And by the way, a Vespa is not a motorcycle. I said it, okay?
Y'all can see how this quiz immediately sets us up on the wrong foot.
I was angry the second I walked in here.
No, I picked you up and you said, Aiden, I'm gassed. I'm so excited to do a pod today.
I felt good with myself. I came home, I was productive, I edited.
And then we did a quiz.
Watched Doctor Who. And
then we did a fucking quiz.
No, it's the damn TV show that we based this entire podcast off.
All right.
Probably wasn't a great marketing plan if you think about it, Aiden.
Okay, well, look, Connor, I'm going to tell you something here. We're here today to do a sneaky little bit of a review, okay? So like I said, we're going to review part 1 of Spyfall.
What's sneaky about it? We do it every week.
It's not, well, okay, fucking hell. Well, stop adding spicy words to make things sound exciting. And then, so between our reviews of part 1 and part 2 of Spyfall, we will be talking to Michelle Gomez. That's right. It's not pre-recorded.
She's right here.
She's right. She's in the green room off stage.
And neither's Crispy.
Crispy's still in there, hands tied. We refuse to let him go back to Brisbane. Okay. So, Spyfall, baby, part 1. 2
different directors, I remember that when you go to talk about the directors.
That is such a weird thing about this episode, okay? Spyfall is the 2-part premiere of the 12th series of the British science fiction television programme Doctor Who, first broadcast on BBC One on the 1st of January 2020 and concluded on the 5th of January 2020. So 2 episodes within like less than a week, with 5 days apart, which I thought was always really cool. Written by showrunner Chris Chibnall, the first episode directed by Jamie Magnus Stone, the second one directed by Lee Haven Jones. In the episode, the 13th Doctor, companions Graham, Ryan and Yaz are enlisted by MI6 to investigate a former agent and an alien threat. The episode marks the first return on the Master since the Doctor falls, and also sees the return of Gallifrey, the Doctor's home planet. The episodes were watched by 6.89 mil and 6.07 mil viewers respectively, and received generally positive reviews from the critics. The part 1 was also dedicated to former script editor Terrence Dix, who died in 2019. So that's
sad.
Very sad.
Yeah,
Terrence Dix did a lot for Doctor Who.
Yeah, very sad.
Fuck me, we're in 2020 now on this rewatch, dude. 2020, 1st of January.
No, sure not.
Yeah, man. Premiered on 2020, 1st of January 2020. This is just before COVID, just before the world changed. What did you think of part 1 on the 1st of January 2020?
Seriously? It was 2020?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Remember, Resolution was the only episode to air in 2019.
Yeah. God. Okay, this is weird. I loved it. Thought it was great. Had such a fun time with it.
Yep.
Was very upset, obviously, with the last couple of episodes. I remember watching this and being like, yeah, it's not exactly what I want it to be, but this is just fun TV. And I always remember thinking, like, Chibnall seemed to maybe listen a little bit and taking it a little less seriously. Like, this episode had some serious themes in it and some serious scenes, but I think it really knows how to have fun.
Yeah.
And the whole spy thing, I think the best thing they could have done was not take the spy thing too seriously, which is what they don't do. It's a bit wacky.
It's kind of a spy
silly.
spoof. In
Yeah,
a way,
the spy shoes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean. Like, it's kind of like it's like a spoof on like spy movies and stuff.
Definitely.
And I think that was the right move to make. I remember when the first part ended, just being excited for the second part. I remember watching the episode twice in one day. Yeah, just feeling like Doctor Who was like going back to what I just love, which was just like a bombastic.
Yeah.
I think it was an hour as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, both are 60 minutes, which
I like
really
that.
cool.
I like a long form of episode. Like, yeah. I didn't like say it was the best thing ever, but I was like, this is a good return to form, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is when I talk. I remember in 2020 I was in Melbourne over New Year.
Melbourne.
And
Not seeing Crispy Pro?
No, because Crispy Pro, contrary to popular belief, does not live in Melbourne. I was
Brisbane. Fuck.
You silly boy.
Shit.
So yeah, I was with my girlfriend, and we were in our hotel room on the 2nd of Jan, and she went and had a nap, and I watched this, and I remember waking up and being like, Nick, the Master's back, and I was so on board. I loved it. As soon as I got back to Australia, to Perth, a couple of days later, I remember I rewatched it straight away and was like, this slaps hard. I loved it so much. So it's going to be exciting to talk about how we find it in 2023. So what did you think this year? Tell me, talk to me.
Yeah, still have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah?
I've got some good memories, some good nostalgia from these episodes, and hey, I guess I didn't remember this. It's like, it's the year of our Lord 2020.
That's right.
When this episode aired and COVID went to shit, and obviously a lot of people died, and it's horrible. But now we're in 2023, and COVID doesn't exist anymore, I guess.
Yeah, so we don't have to give a shit.
It very much does. I've had it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so had fun. I guess, like... Oh, we're not talking about the second part right now. Okay,
just part one.
Yeah, no, fun as. Like, fast-paced, silly when it needs to be, serious when it needs to be. Australia's in it, but it's actually filmed in South Africa.
Yep.
Oh,
it's actually Western Australia as well, in particular.
Is it really?
It is. It's a desert in WA, where we are. Where Michelle just was, and where Crispy just was.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Western Australia. It actually like shows on the map. The pinpoint thing is in WA.
I saw when all the scanners came up, Perth did get hit. But
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, when it comes to this episode, I guess I'm like an uncultured swine because I don't remember a lot of stuff about it. But yeah. And I think for me a highlight is I kind of forgot how good Sasha's master is. Particularly his portrayal as O.
Yeah.
And then
Little nerdy boy.
That switch between O and the master.
Classic.
Is really good.
You've got me. I can run.
I can. Yeah, I love that's how that's it. So I thought you were an Olympic runner.
Yeah.
Got him.
Good.
But that plane scene, like he just chews up the scenery. Like he just kills it. Like he's so good.
Can I put a bold call out there?
I've got hair, bro. Come on.
Okay, well, I don't have a lot of it. The Doctor Who.
You do, bro. Come on.
I do have hair.
Be proud of yourself.
I'm proud of my hair. It's ginger and fun. Doctor Who has looked good for a long time by this point.
Yeah.
And I think this episode, let's not talk about what comes after, but this episode, particularly part 1, the best Doctor Who's ever looked. I watched this fucking episode on the 8K upstairs, and it looked insane. Like, I was like, holy shit, it is popping with colour. They got the colour grade in this bitch. It looked fantastic. So did part 2. But I do think Jamie Magnus Stone just has a way with colour and just has a way with like adding depth into his shot choices. And,
is this his first episode?
This, I think, is his first episode.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I noticed his name pop up. So.
And the guy's goated. It's awesome. Like,
absolutely.
The way he just played into like the MI6 office looks like a James. It kind of that was like the Kingsman vibe when they go like into that sort of spy office in the Kingsman. That was my instant thing, and I was like, okay, they're playing with that like golden with a bit of haze the golden, in there, that color palette, and then you get like the elegance of like the James Bond stuff when they go to wherever. I can't think of any character's name in this. Daniel Barton, played by Lenny Henry, of course. So Lenny Henry. When they go to his house, you have like the elegance, and Segunda Canola is going hard, and it's like boom, what
a great piece. Yeah, I got some good shit to say about Sagana Code. Yeah, it's so good. Oh, by the way, I prefer Jodie wearing what she wears in this so much more than her.
It's a cool
costume.
suit. I like it a lot.
I think she really rocks it. I think it's great. Wow. And yeah, I love Stephen Fry. He's in it. I think the thing I dislike about the episode the most is like the opening before the credits. I just found it kind of cringe.
Yeah, that whole plot feels a little bit irrelevant as well.
Yeah, it does feel irrelevant, and like you kind of just like it just starts and you're kind of scratching your head a little bit. But I think after that, because I remember watching that in like 2020 and being like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah.
But then like actually going back and the shit I was complaining about last week. Was it last week? Yeah. Last week when I was like, why isn't Yaz going back to like her commissioner and saying, you know, do I still even have a job? And we get to see that. And I knew that scene was coming back up, but I'm like, you know, why didn't it happen sooner? But it gets explained kind of. It's like she's getting like these grants to be away from work, and it's almost like she's got like a tap on the shoulder, as they put it. Seeing Ryan with his mate who comes back in Talk to Me.
Of course, Can You Hear Me?
Sorry, I keep saying the Raka Brothers film in theaters next month.
Graham gets his cancer checkup.
Exactly.
And Jodie working
and
Jodie
on the TARDIS in like,
I
the
love
mechanic shop.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so
worst
fun.
Uber ever.
Yeah, cringe joke, but funny.
I was fine with it. It worked.
And I like the scene where the car's just controlling itself. It reminded me of Centauran Stratagem and all that shit when the cars were controlling themselves. And
I've got two big Dr. Energy moments, and my one for part one is the car going die.
Location.
Do you have a big Dr. Energy moment for part one, kind of a bit that made you laugh, or a standout performance, or just the moment of the episode? Which this, by the way, is not kind of the moment for the episode, but it's just something where I literally laughed out loud when it was just like, die.
Is that yours?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Great, awesome. Well, obviously, Torture gets a fat mention, which I loved. Very cool. But I have to give it to Sasha, man. I think...
yeah, that's it, yeah.
I started half the episode yesterday, and then I went out. I got a little bit groggy, and then I came home, finished it, and I was in bed just like, oh hell yeah, this is good. And not when I'm a bit groggy, like I watch stuff differently, and I'm analyzing it. And to be honest, the episode wasn't getting a lot of slack from me. I was like, this is good, and I think I got to give it to Sasha, man. Like
he's good.
He actually really killed it. Not a huge fan of the mask coming back so soon, but whatever. Is what it is.
I think looking broadly at the episode, I think the second act kind of like dragged a little bit for me.
Same.
I was getting a bit bored in there, checking the phone a couple of times.
Same.
But like first act and the third act were great. Yeah, a great line that I just thought was just so like kind of Chim Nol's writing for this era, but it kind of worked for me, and I thought it was fun. Was when Stephen Fry, or what's he called? Is he M? Or is he
M or Q or some
Q?
shit?
I don't know. He's C. He's C.
CD's nuts. Yeah.
CD's nuts is like thinks Graham's a doctor, and then Jodie rocks up and she's like, "I got an upgrade." I thought that was funny.
No comment.
It worked for me. There's a lot of lines in series 11 where it's like a little bit cringe, like a bit on the nose with that sort of stuff.
No comment.
I like this one. I thought it was funny. I like the TARDIS being wheeled in. I liked all that set location shooting. I liked the boys taking the piss out of each other. I like this Graham and Ryan dynamic of them laughing together and like really just being like grandson and granddad.
Yeah.
And just like with my laser shoes, like that sort of stuff was funny.
The soft shoe shuffle.
I love it.
What do you think of Yaz?
Doesn't do anything.
Aiden.
Oh, she does a little bit in part one.
Aiden, well, she gets stolen.
She does get stolen. She gets stolen, but then she's also like asking Lenny Henry the questions. Those scenes I found really boring, though, to be honest.
I love how Yaz gets stolen and like Ryan's getting caught and he's like, "I'm sorry, Yaz," and just runs. I'm like, I respect it. He's like,
he's in it for
gotta go.
himself. But before we get to that stuff, I just want to say there's a notorious bit that I think is like a really cool bit of foreshadowing, which is when they're like, who oh fuck, what are they asking about? Who did something?
These nuts.
Who did something? They're asking C. They're basically asking like, who is responsible for all this? And then C gets shot, and C goes, "Oh," and it's like, "Oh," as in like, "Oh, I'm sore," but it's also "Oh," as in, "Oh" is the guy that's responsible for all of this,
right?
Being the master, which I thought was really cool. So they go to
Spy Master as well. I thought was a good.
Yeah. Is that a question you should be asking? It's who's the Spy Master?
Well, I remember before this aired, I think there was rumours that the Master was back. So, though it still was a good reveal. Because I remember thinking, like, no way, man. Like, we just did the whole Missy plot.
Yeah.
We've had John Sim as Master, and they both just came back as well. I'm like, there's no way, man. So it was a surprise for sure, but a welcome one.
I think I could be wrong in this, but I also think I do remember this being legit. In that they released promo pictures of them in the tuxes walking towards the gate, and obviously Sasha walks with them in that scene. But I believe they actually photoshopped Sasha out of those promo pics. So I was like, that's commitment to the bit. It was pretty nifty stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, Yaz and Ryan go. Ryan, there's some cringe jokes about him being Logan.
Hugh Jackman's.
But I'm worried I don't look like anything like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Chibnall's like, I know pop culture references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Do you... I found the scenes to be really boring when they were investigating Vor, because I thought it looked... I didn't really like the set. I thought the set was boring. And then I actually do think that Lenny Henry gives a pretty boring performance in this, in both parts. But I do think that comes down to him actually being really poorly written. Like, you know, in part 2 when he's like, "Hello, gang," or should I call you plain thieves? Like, can you imagine Sir Lenny Henry reading the script and going, wow. Like, I don't think it's on him. I think the villain is just written so lame and so one note.
They also work. Chibnall and Lenny Henry worked together on Broadchurch season 3.
Oh, was he in that? I don't remember.
Yeah, so he's an old pal. I'm sure you could call the old favour out and be like, "Hey, you want to do this role?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think part 1 is actually like fast-paced, fun, enjoyable, silly, dark, has everything you want from a Doctor Who episode. I think Jodie is good in it. I think the companions are Ryan and Graham continue to be fine, not great, just fine.
Yeah.
Yaz, I think they tried to give her as much as they could do, but it annoyed me so many times through that episode. She was just like, "Remember, guys, we'll just do what the Doctor does." I'm like, why don't you just do what you want to do? Like, be yourself. Like, God's sake, woman. Like, just do what you want to do. Like, don't. What would the Doctor do? No.
You know what
would Yaz do is what I want to know.
You know what a great thing would have been for the power of the Doctor? Because Yaz, you're right. Like, the whole way through, she's always like, "What would the Doctor do?" And she said that so many times in Flux. It's a big thing. She writes it on her hand. And then the Doctor is the one that has to tell her to leave in the power of the Doctor. Don't you think it would have been a much more powerful thing if Yaz was like, "No, like, you know, I can't just keep traveling on with you whilst you regenerate your face. Like, I need to do what I want to do." And then you're like, character growth, baby. She's gone from being reliable and like relying too much and being too dependent.
Didn't happen though.
I know. This is
what do you think of Yaz's sister wanting to fuck Ryan?
She must like a plank of wood then.
Is his number in there?
Oh my god. Yeah, she's cool.
Give me his number. No.
I think she's fun. I like the sister. Yaz did get one really cool scene though when she's crying after being abducted, and I thought that was like actually really cool because I don't think Doctor Who often plays enough into how scary some of these situations could actually be if they were real. You know, quite often it's like there might be like a bit of a shock or a bit of a, "Oh, I was worried there." But now, like, this was a character who was... But this is like a character who genuinely was deeply affected at the idea of she was on her own and she didn't know what she could do.
There was no precious doctor there.
There was no precious doctor to help her out. The Outback Australia stuff, right?
G'day, mate. We're security guards and we're going to look after you fucking... Good people.
Good people. Thank you for saving me a bleep out
That's
there.
all right. Good people. Yeah.
I actually thought...
Get inside. We're going to do our job. No, get back inside. And they just die. Fucking hell, I'm dead.
I actually thought the South African location shooting looked really good. Like, it looked like Australia.
Folks. That's just movie magic.
It wasn't. I instantly, though, was like listening to the accents and I was like, holy shit. The girl,
get
the
back
lady...
inside, mate.
I couldn't track down where she was from. So... I think she did a good job with her accent. I thought she could have been Aussie, she could have been UK, she could have been whoever. The male, I was listening to him talk.
What do you mean, mate?
And I was like, okay, no, that's not right. That's not right. And then all of a sudden I'm like, he's South African. He actually is. And I jumped on IMDb and what do I know? What do I find? He's actually South African.
Well,
so his South African accent
South Africa,
was... Yeah, I know. Like, they obviously pulled him from like a South African thing. Casting or whatever. They didn't want to fly an Australian over.
Do you ever what I was just doing there? It seems like such a cliche, but do you ever meet an Australian who is so fucking Australian? You're
they're out there.
They literally today at work, I got some bloke came onto the site at the house we're building. He came in and he's like, mate, is that your rubbish over there? And I was like, no, it's not. It wasn't like an old Lambo. I was like, no, it's not. He's like, yeah, of course it's not, mate. I was like, nah, really, it's not ours. He was like, yeah. All right, well, he did the dumbest joke. He was like, yeah, well, I'm recording this on a voice memo, so if it does come out to be you, then I'll come back and get you.
Good joke.
And I was like, yeah, okay. It's like, all right, mate, have a good one. I was like, you're the most Australian guy I've ever met.
Like, they are out there, but I feel like UK shows paint out that that's how every single Aussie sounds.
Like, get back inside, mate. There's a shadow creatures trying to kill your doctor. Don't worry, mate.
Okay, what do you think of these creatures who, for some reason, are like little shadow things when you see them crossing in front of the camera, but when you actually see them, they are a big bright ball of light.
They look like they're wearing hats.
Yeah.
I always when this episode aired, I thought they were like the Cybermen for some reason. Don't know why. I liked them in part 1 because it's ominous and you kind of think it's going to go somewhere. But it doesn't really.
No.
And maybe I'm missing out on something, but I don't think it really went anywhere. But I thought, doesn't one get in the TARDIS?
Yeah, early on it's like pushing through and it's like...
Doesn't the fucking Ninth Doctor say the thingy tried to get through that door and believe me, they tried?
Yeah, well that's why these monsters are so impressive because they're doing what Daleks can't do.
It wasn't Daleks, but... It was
no,
the Kenyan cast couldn't get through that door and believe me, they tried. There's a quote, but that's from Rose.
I'm just saying.
The Daleks weren't in Rose.
Oh, I'm just saying though that Daleks have tried to get in and they have not been able to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, what makes this Shadow
just strong?
The
mate.
Shadow King. So
the Shadow King, baby. Yeah, okay. So the Aussie boys die. They go. We have this great casino themed party.
My ass is on the Barbie right now.
We have this great casino themed party for Daniel Barton's birthday, and it is the dialogue. I don't know what it is, but there's the scenes with Jodie and Lenny Henry are talking, and it's like I think Jodie's doing great, and then Lenny Henry will be like, "You're utterly deranged," and I'm like, "Oh my god! What is this like?"
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah,
and I suggest you do too.
It's
okay.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
That casino theme, everything in there I thought was awesome. It was really cool. I did notice that the security guards did disappear the moment after the first shot. The security guards were no longer at the front door.
Have you got a Goof of the Week Sting?
Yeah, I do.
Can you play it? Because I have one.
All right.
It's the first time I actually noticed a goof in so long.
3, 2, 1. It's time for Goof of the Week. Bringing it back for the final season, baby.
In the scene where the car gets taken over in part 1, the car almost it goes backwards and it's heading towards a bridge that doesn't have the other half, and there's cones blocking it. The cone, they stop the car just in time and the car hits the cones and they go they're halfway to falling off, they're being pushed back. And then when it goes to a wide shot, the cones haven't moved an inch.
Can I hit you up with another Goof of the Week? And I'm 90% sure of this. I didn't rewind it. I didn't really care enough to. But I'm pretty sure the road that they reverse on might have white lines painted on it.
Right.
And when they reverse up to the edge.
Right.
And the last thing they do with roads is put the white lines on. They don't build a bit of the road, white line. Bit more of the road, white line. I could be wrong though, but I'm just 90% sure when I watched it.
It would go out a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
See.
We're good at this, aren't we?
I thought Jamie Magnastone's direction in that whole chase scene was awesome, though. Like,
oh, he's great.
There's like these great shots.
It's a tiny goof that is ridiculous that I haven't noticed, but
I love like the crane shots that they like crane down as two cars like skid to the side into the crane shot. I thought that stuff was awesome. I loved his direction of the chase scene.
I love Ryan's reaction shot. Yeah.
Okay, casino stuff I thought was awesome. I thought everyone sort of set up that Yaz and O chemistry. They were like,
yeah, they were trying to
turn to the master.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Unlucky in life.
I think there was a bit of a spark going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess I want to say that, I don't know, maybe I'm holding back on saying this, but I think like we spoke, I think it was last week again, about the Doctor being like on the spectrum and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this episode really does lead into it. Like the fact that she goes up to Lenny Henry's character and just like doesn't even say like hello, just starts like hitting him with all this shit, you know, like being socially awkward and stuff. And I think like they're going for it, but I don't know. I like it though. I like what they're doing, but I just think it needs a bit more explaining that she's on the spectrum or like neurodivergent or whatever. Like
I feel like in like 2020 TV, if they were going for that, they would have made a point of it. You know, I think this is. I love that people who are like neurodivergent or whatever can read that and take that from it. That's amazing.
I did,
but I personally think that if they were going for it, with how much this era in particular spells everything out for you, I do think that they would have made more of a point of saying it. And I don't have a problem with people taking that from it. It's awesome. Art's subjective, but I really don't think that that's what they were going for in it at the time.
Interesting, because I think they were. So I don't know.
Don't you think there would be like an episode or a scene where they dive into that just to like actually say something about it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I think there's a lot of things that could have been explored in this era that didn't. And you know, and by the way, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that like, you know, I'm in therapy myself. I've been told that I'm most probably like neurodivergent and stuff. Like I've had those comments about myself. So I guess like I'm taking it from experience where like I have it when I go into social situations where it's like I try and make things awkward because it kind of makes me feel more comfortable because I'm scared I'm going to make an ass of myself. I almost like try and say something that makes it already awkward so I don't feel that scared. I don't know. I get that from her doctor, but again, like you said, it's subjective. I guess like maybe they would have explained it. I don't know. I think it sucks that we don't know. I'm glad people can take something from it. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but anyway, that's what I took away from it. So.
That's fair, and definitely 100% entitled to take that away from it.
Yes, yeah, no, yeah.
What do you think of the bike chase scene?
Fun.
Loved it.
Fun, yeah.
Loved it.
I think, you know, they were working with the budget they had, and I think they did it as well as they could.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. I didn't have a problem with how it looked at all.
For what am I paying you for? Put your foot down.
Okay, yeah, that was bad.
This is me doing my Lenny Henry impression. What am I paying you for? Oh, come on. What do you think of Lenny Henry just driving to an airport, hopping on a plane, driving off, and not only that, the entire fam running and jumping on the back. Plane? And somehow he doesn't get a notification in the back of the plane.
I know, I was thinking that.
Opening, so all the fam can jump in.
Well, he's not on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was stupid, by the way. I was like, why is he not on the plane?
It's a good point, actually.
Yeah, okay, so we kind of covered the rest of this stuff. They look out the window and there's a fucking flying TARDIS flying.
Very Wizard of Oz.
It's very Wizard of Oz. I'm kind of here for it, though. I think it's kind of fun.
It's goofy, but it's fun.
And Sasha just puts on a show for the end there. They blow up the front of the plane. I thought that's a good cliffhanger.
I like his little clap. It's good.
Yeah.
He's good, man. He's good.
Oh my god. Fucking hell.
Was that you or was that the ghost again?
It's the ghost again. No, I think if I don't stop it properly on my computer, it replays it just at a random point. I don't know why, but that scared the shit out of me. Do you know about the in like the 1990s, I think there was a plane and like as it was taking off and it was like in the air, the roof ripped off?
No.
And
that sounds horrible.
All I was thinking about was like surely this plane would have just ripped apart the second that front blew up. But Yeah, no, but apparently, like, so the roof ripped off, right? And only one person died.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, there was like a air flight lady that was like pulled out.
Oh God.
Who they never found, which is a bit grim all of a sudden. But everyone else was in their seatbelts, and they said the only thing was like they were so against the clock to get the plane back down because everyone was obviously losing air and people were like starting to pass out and things like that. But they landed the plane, and it was only that one lady, which does suck, of course, but she was the only person that did die, and you compare that to the possibility of all of them dying, which is insane, that they all, bar one, survived.
Jeez.
A little bit of alien trivia for you.
Talk about jet lag, jeez. That's awful.
Okay, yeah, and then the doctor gets teleported to a random void thing.
Do we give both parts the same score, or do we do it
We've
separately?
had these conversations
yeah,
so many times.
I'm not even memeing, like, I actually forgot. It's been so long since we've done it. There haven't been any 2 parts for... There was none in season 10.
Yes, that was the finale.
Fuck off.
We
stop being
give
a smart twat all the time, okay?
We give a...
It's been a long time since we've done that.
We give a combined score
We?
at the end of the episode, okay? Of
right.
both parts, all right? Anyways, that covers part 1, which means there's one little thing we want to do before we get into part 2, okay? Michelle Gomez. She was in Perth.
Yeah, we went to the panel as
Yes,
well.
the little Q&A.
Little Q&A, which was really fun. I'd never been to one of those before. And I've heard they're always really fun, and it was fun. It was like, I think she answered questions for 45 minutes.
She did.
I asked a question myself. You can see it in the vlog. I got the footage yesterday from Scott. Looks really good.
Cool.
I recall, like, I remember, like, the guy said, like, if you want to ask questions, go up to the back. And I looked at all you guys, and no one went up. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll
Because I
I'll
knew...
do it myself.
Well, and this isn't anything against you doing it, but I knew that I had my questions in my head that I wanted to ask her for when we would be able to sit down and interview her.
Yeah.
So that's where my head was at with them.
I was thinking about the content and the video. And
Well, good for you. You got up there and did it. But I was also like, I just wasn't in the mood to, you know? I was just happy to sit there and be a little passive...
boring.com/bullshit. Yeah,
Okay,
to be fair, when I got up there, I didn't have, like, a question in mind.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to ask? And I think I just asked a question that we left out of the interview.
Yeah, you said, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
I said, in the Dr. Falls, we see you die. Speaking of Sasha's Master, I said, like, in your head canon, because we're all a bit confused, did you regenerate into Sasha Dewan's Master, or do you think it was someone else? Because I think, even to this day, it's still, like, a bit fugazi for Darcy.
I really don't give a shit, though.
I went up there
What? No,
just to give the
I think it was great that you
audience-
did it. I'm
audience
just
what
saying,
they
no, because
wanted.
a lot of people like go on and on about this shit.
I
and I'm
didn't
like,
really care either, but I just wanted to ask a question.
Bloody
I wanted to
offended,
ask-
mate.
I just wanted to ask a question that the
Alright,
audience wanted to hear. They loved it.
Anyways,
okay?
we met up with Michelle Gomez afterwards, thanks to obviously Lionel, but also Crispy Pro hooked us up big time. They were such a bloody gent, a breath of fresh air. Crispy was, and
from me,
he also. Yeah, from you. And he also was so kind that when we were a bit stressed as to how much time we'd have, he genuinely was trying to make it so that if only one of us could get an interview, it would be us. And we were like, no, fam. Like, you are the one with 30k subs. You need this stuff. But anyways, we both got to do an interview, and because Crispy doesn't plan on doing a full video on his interview just yet, so I think he's going to do like a bit of a video essay that will be on the channel, so make sure you do subscribe to him because that will come out at some point. But he has said that we can use the full interview, including his bits, for this.
So that's the first part.
Yeah, very soon you're going to stop hearing from us and you're going to hear from Crispy Pro, followed by Past Us. Sound good, Connor?
Let's do it, baby.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, Whovians, Crispy Pro here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking to the fabulous Michelle Gomez. How are you today?
I'm fabulous.
That's very good.
So I'll take that. Thank you.
You absolutely are.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So my first question to you, Michelle, is what was it like being the first female incarnation of the Master?
It was phenomenal. Like, it was mind blowing. I was a fan first and foremost, so I kind of knew that it was a big deal to be the first female Master. So I was thrilled.
What is your perfect Sunday? What is your
My
perfect,
perfect
Sunday look
Sunday is waking up in the countryside, in a house, obviously not in a ditch, with my new puppy Dylan and my husband and my son bringing me a cup of tea.
That's perfect.
I hate tea. It would actually be coffee. And the New York Times. I read that because I live in New York.
Of course, perfect. And my final question for you is, what did the role of Missy mean to you? I know that's a loaded question, but what does it mean to you?
The role of Missy meant everything to me. It was like a door opener. You know, it's just like it sort of changed everything for me in my career. And I've had some success since then, and it's all down to Missy for sure.
Incredible. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
going to get a
you.
new host in.
Okay.
Thank you, Michelle. I saw in the Q&A, you're a little bit like, I'm going to swear a little bit here.
Yes.
Feel free to drop as many.
We will have
in the
a
interview.
tally,
It's fine.
which is a good thing.
Oh, I see. Oh, the F-bombing
Yeah,
and
do
the
the F-bombing.
cursing.
Yes.
No, because I grew up in Scotland, and
Yes.
they
Yeah.
actually, in the school I went to, taught cursing as punctuation as a lesson,
Yeah.
which I excel at really fucking well.
There we go.
Nice.
Boom.
We love that.
So you worked on quite a few episodes of Doctor Who. Do you have a favourite of them?
Oh my God. It's the favourite. St. Paul's. I mean, there's not every day you get to walk into St. Paul's Cathedral.
Yep.
And apparently only the Queen and the Mayor is allowed to cross the threshold of St. Paul's. But now you can also add Peter Capaldi and Michelle
There
Gomez
you
to that
go.
list because we did.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So we know you worked with John Sim,
Yes.
and what was it like working with him?
Oh, John Sim. Who
Yes.
did he play?
The good old master.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was fine. Yeah.
cool guy.
He's a wonderful actor.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very happy for him. To die.
Bit of a fun question. Tomato sauce, fridge or pantry? Tomato
Oh,
sauce.
absolute pantry.
Pantry?
Yes,
Good.
yeah.
A lot of people say fridge.
That's the right answer.
A lot of people say fridge, and
No,
it's
don't be ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
got so many preservatives in it. It outlive any cockroach.
So what was it like working with director Rachel Talalay and Doctor Who and
Oh
Sabrina?
my God, Rachel!
She's the best.
Rachel
She's my favourite and our
Talalay
favourite.
is because she is such an ardent fan.
Yes,
So
yeah.
she was fangirling and
Yeah.
fanboying all day, every day, and she actually gave me so much confidence to kind of really be as free as possible when I was playing Missy, because Rachel was the director I had when I first started in the show.
right, yeah, yeah.
And I love that woman dearly. She's one very, 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 very talented woman.
yeah, definitely our favourite Doctor Who director.
Yeah.
I think she's awesome.
Nothing scares her.
Yes or no answer, because I know you would, even if you knew, you wouldn't be able to dive into anything. But obviously, 60th anniversary coming up, Series 14, things like that. Do you know anything that's happening? Yes or no?
No.
No. No. Blink twice if you're lying. Oi! Got it?
Is there anything that you admire about Sasha's performance as the master?
Oh, I just met Sasha
Yeah.
in Auckland, and I fully intended to dislike him immensely.
Yeah.
And I ended up absolutely loving him. Is there anything I admired of his performance?
Yeah, what was your favourite thing that you admired about him?
Didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
Don't know,
Didn't
don't
watch
care.
it. Don't know, don't care. No, that's the truth.
Awesome. And just to wrap things up, my girlfriend said that she loved you in Sabrina.
Thank you.
And
Does
just
she have a name?
yeah, Nicole.
Nicole, thanks, Nicole.
And also, can I just say, I love you as Miss Pickwell in Bad Education.
Right,
Would you ever return to that? Because I know they're doing I know Jack's not in it anymore,
right.
and Jack's not writing anymore. But would you ever reprise that role as Miss Pickwell?
You know what? I never say never.
Yeah.
However, I have got quite good at knowing when to leave the party.
You were so
And
good in that, though.
Aw.
You're like an absolute highlight.
Oh my
in
God,
that. My
thank
sister
you.
and my mum love you so much in that.
Thank you. Thank
Including
you.
myself. No worries.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, if they asked, maybe.
Awesome.
I think
That's
it.
great. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Michelle.
Okay.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Wow!
Would you believe it? We
did
just
it.
interviewed Michelle Gomez. Michelle.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I thought it was great. It was really good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't we great that we did that together?
Yeah. Well, what an experience.
It was weird. I still look at photos of us together and go like, that happened.
That happened. It's mad.
It actually is.
And we had fun, and ever on Twitter, all the Michelle Gomez fan pages, which I didn't know were a thing, were all getting behind it and
I think they're
retweeting
called
it.
Go Heads.
Are they actually?
Nah, it's just about that. The Go Heads.
Mez Heads.
Mez Heads.
Mez Head.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
when Christopher Eccleston comes back, we're going to interview him.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first. We're going to make it happen.
You know how we called the Queen idiot parasite chief?
Yeah.
I'm like, my joke is, what do you think about the new idiot parasite chief in their stupid hat?
Oh my god, if you asked that, could you imagine?
And I'm not talking about the king. I know how much you love Russell T Davies. Got him. Yeah, nah, Eccleston would love us to interview him.
Before we did the interview, Michelle came up and Crispy went to shake her hand. And she went, I'm not doing flesh. And
post-COVID.
And then she just like grabbed Crispy and was like, I'm doing this, and like little hug thing. But you know what I thought? As soon as she said that, absorb off. I'm just saying, Missy.
Because we watched it the day before.
We watched Love and Monsters the day before. And all I'm saying is Missy, the master, could be an absorber off.
It's got nothing to do with COVID and flus.
Fuck that.
What did they do? What did they do? They did you said they did the thing. What was that? Was that elbowed?
No, they just like had a hug. She was like, not flesh, just this, and like put her arm around
Damn,
her.
why didn't I get a hug, Michelle?
Well, because...
Did you hug Michelle?
I did the old... When we took the photo, I did the old Keanu Reeves and put my hand like a millimetre away from her side as I had my arm around her.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the closest thing I did. That was weird, talking about Michelle Gomez and being like, yeah, when I had my arm around her. That's not
well, you did
normal.
Really? You just...
No, I had
hovered,
the polite one. Okay, all right. Spyfall Part 2, baby. Let's go through this one a lot quicker. Okay.
Boo!
Boo! So this episode, I think, drags a lot more than Part 1 does. But I think it has some awesome stuff. I think, like, the France in the World War II times, I thought looked fantastic. And it's a little controversial that the Doctor ends up sending Sasha back to, probably to, like, a concentration camp or something like that. But... look, hey,
it's a ridiculous line where it's like, I just spent 77 years to get here. And I'm like, I don't believe it, Christian. Moffat did it too. I'm not just trying to shit on him.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that. I'm like, you're kidding.
Yeah, and they look the same as they did before.
Literally the exact same. They probably never remember what they're doing.
Yeah.
77 years.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was doing 77 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
I was a cell in my dad.
Oh boy.
Anyways,
Jeez
so
Louise. Why the director change?
I don't know. I assume it was like an availability thing. Maybe they
Dumb.
why? I thought they both did good.
I didn't say they both didn't do good, Aiden.
Well, why is it dumb then? What was
I
wrong?
just don't like it. Well, it doesn't make sense. When does that ever happen?
God forbid something happens that's outside of the norm.
Have you got a bone to pick with me today or something? Is there something you want to say to me?
You're the one that's just a sassy, angry man all day.
I'm not sassy and angry. Fuck you.
You just said something dumb that didn't even fail anyways. It worked. So why is it dumb?
If you let me explain myself, if I can get a word
sick of it.
if I can
I'm
get a
sick
word,
of you explaining
if I can get a word in
I'm
edgeways.
sick of it.
No,
I'm sick to death.
Trying to explain. bro.
Explain.
Trying
Hurry up.
to- Fuck off. Alright. I'm just trying to say. No, okay, first of all, you of all people not finding that weird is ridiculous. You don't
What do you
understand.
mean?
You don't understand why it's a bit odd that they changed the register in a 2-part episode.
I know it's odd, but it's not dumb. Like, I think it worked. Like, you can't tell.
Okay, alright.
Oh no, Flux was 6 parts, but they have 2 directors in it. Oh no. Oh, it was dumb. It was dumb because they had 2
I
directors.
just think
over
it's
6
weird.
episodes.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I think he should have done both. I think they're both good. I don't have an issue with either one of them. Okay?
I'm sure if he had the choice, he would have done both. But I'd assume it was like just the way that the shooting schedule happened or something like that, because they want him to be available to film the finales and stuff like that. Now, that would be my theory. Just it was like an availability thing, and they wanted him to do the premiere because they knew that Jamie was a great director or something, and that's just how it felt. I'd love to know. #ask Chibnall.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're having a nice conversation about it then, and not slitting each other's throats. Yeah, I thought it was fine.
That's for the quiz next week.
Yeah, that really did set it off to a sour note. I thought it was good. I definitely lost. I definitely lost concentration a little bit. That's not a pun. what happens later on in the episode with Sasha's master.
Oh no, Connor.
But yeah, I just thought it was like fine.
Did you like his little miniaturizey thing?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that was fun. A good little throwback.
Little dollhouse, you know. Oh, he kept the actual O in a
Yeah,
like a matchbox,
case.
and he just froze it.
I also loved the there's like a shot when they first arrive in that like industrial revolution. Everyone's got inventions and things, and there's like these awesome shots that just like they're almost like kind of POV, kind of not, but they do like swish pans from
Switch pans,
each
yeah.
invention to the next one, and they kind of treat it like the camera is like a POV of someone in the crowd, and so the person that's the inventor that's doing all the explaining will look around the crowd, and every now and then he'll just like look directly into the camera for like half a second, just like you're one of the crowd that he's looking around at. I thought that stuff was really
Surprised
neat.
you like it, considering it's not Jamie Magnus Stone who directed this episode. But,
Such a motherfucker.
yeah,
Okay,
that's good. I like all the Eiffel Tower and stuff.
that was awesome.
I'm surprised they put Nazi flags in it. I thought you couldn't do that anymore.
No, you can.
shows.
The I think the only rule I know to do with that when I was in Berlin, they said that they can't Nazi symbols are banned in Germany. So when like you see anything that's filmed on location, and it's set in Berlin, it wasn't filmed in Berlin. So because all those flags and stuff, they're not allowed to put up, probably for rightful reasons, because everyone's going to be like, they're back.
But do you remember in like COD Zombies, they used to have the Nazi signs in the original Black Ops game, and when they remastered it, they didn't have the.
Oh, didn't they? They took it off. I
They
don't
took
know.
it off, yeah.
I don't know my COD law.
I guess I don't know. I just thought they couldn't show it anymore, but
No, they definitely can. Like you see films like Jojo Rabbit, they got
yeah,
Nazi.
true.
Any historical film has Nazi flags everywhere. I suppose it just like if you don't need it, there's no need to put it in there. And I guess they didn't really need it for the Nazi zombies. Then again, they're called Nazi zombies. Anyways,
That's true.
so I loved the setup of. Okay, I know the scene kind of went a bit awry when the doctor reveals Sasha's identity, right? But I love the scene, like all the stuff before that, where he's like, "Have you been home recently?" All that stuff I think is really cool. And we're also we haven't touched on yet. Like we got Ava Lovelace, I think her name is. Ava Lovelace and Noor Inayat Khan, who are two awesome women of history, and I thought they were fantastic in this episode. They're really small, and I think they were like characters. I feel like maybe you could have a whole episode centered around them, but I thought they worked just as like just a little bit of nugget of history in this episode, and I thought that was really awesome. I liked it when they're hiding in the floorboards and they're getting shot. That was cool. And then when Sasha and the doctor are doing like the
The heartbeat of a time
that
lord.
mixed with Sagan doing the score was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a good throwback. So the Master mentions that he found it in the Pocket Universe. Is that from Day of the Doctor? Because of the
Yes.
Pocket Universe?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which is another cool little line.
Cool little throwback. I also like as well, I guess, like, a thing that I was worried about going into it for the first time was like, man, if the Master's back, like, clearly, like, the companions are going to ask questions. And I like how we do actually start to get them being like, even Ryan's like, she knows everything about us, but we don't know anything about her.
Awesome.
And I
Love
like
that.
it. Good.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it does. They do a really good job at setting up the timeless child twist. Okay? Regardless of how the twist goes down, I think the fact that in this first story they make a point out of being like, we know nothing about the Doctor, and then the Doctor basically gives us the Doctor rundown. I'm a Time Lord, da-da-da-da, which I thought was a great little speech from Jodie. I thought that stuff was like a great way of setting up the twist that's to come. Okay? Reminding new watchers, people who are watching for the first time with Jodie's era or something, giving them that backstory that's about to get thrown out the window. I thought that was a neat little thing.
No comment.
Well, what do you think of what do you think of Yaz, all that plot with letting Henry having a fucking TED talk, and then
It was kind of scary. Like, it actually is kind of true, though. It's like, you just let us into our homes, and you agreed to our terms and services, and you gave us your children, and you gave us access to your cameras, and we know every message you send, and we know, it's like, like you're an idiot if you think that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, that is true. And God knows who has access to information. I don't want to think about it. It keeps me up at night, to be honest with you.
I don't really care about that stuff, to be honest. I've said this, I think,
Oh,
on the
what
podcast.
did you, Aiden?
I said this on the podcast a few times before, where it's like, I have nothing to hide. So
No,
if people
neither do
know
I,
stuff about
but,
me, I
like,
don't really care.
Nah, it sounds like I do. Yeah. No, it's not that. I just think, like, you know, I like my privacy.
No, that's fair enough.
I
Yeah.
like my privacy. I don't want, you know, I don't want people snooping in and like,
Yeah, that's fine.
you know, I DM you some stuff that I don't want anyone to see. Normally some memes.
And some
What's Aiden?
the raunchy stuff.
There's a little bit of raunchy
A little bit of
stuff.
raunch, a little bit of
Yeah.
ranch
It's-
dressing in there.
It's not a sexual day, you know.
No sexual days.
Nah.
I thought this stuff was so boring. I didn't give a shit
What about
about
the
it.
other scene about with his mum? It's like,
I know.
where the fuck did that come
He
from?
kills his mum.
I guess Chin was like, how can I make him seem so evil? I get it. I'll have him strap his mum to a chair and be like, I want you to be the first person to die as I take over the human race.
Ridiculous. I kind of liked the sort of vibes of
Getting a bit bored, are you, Aiden?
Yeah, yawning, mate. Put me to
I'm
sleep.
boring you, sorry.
Well, no, this section's boring. But I liked the sort of a bit of the sound of the drums vibe, where they're on the run, staying in like construction sites and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very sound of the drums, and there's a moment, and it's classic Chibnall, where it's like, I'm going to explain the plot out to you, but I'm going to make a joke about the fact I did that, so that way I get away with it. You know, when Ryan's like, we're going to steal your phones, we're going to track you down, and we're going to get to Lenny Henry, okay? And then Yaz is like, Ryan, you can't
Don't
tell
tell
them
them
the
the
plan.
plan.
And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, come on, let's go. But before that, we have the notorious soft
Shoe shuffle.
the notorious shoe. I can't say it.
Soft shoe shuffle.
Soft shoe shuttle.
Hit it, Aiden.
Oh my god.
Soft shoe shuffle.
Soft shoe shuffle, baby.
Gotta play one out.
And that is my big Dr. Angie moment for part 2.
And we are back with Aiden Green.
It's got to be it, mate. There's no other moment like that in this episode. What's your big Dr. Angie moment of part 2, Connor?
Or should I say, plain thieves? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think Jodie gives a great performance going back to Gallifrey.
Amazing performance.
And it certainly has been a while since we've seen it. So, and it's destroyed. I didn't feel any weight of it being destroyed.
No.
It's probably going to be back to normal.
Well, last time we saw it was
Same.
when it had just come back.
Yeah, in Hellbent. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see it for like half an hour in Hellbent for the first time. We're like, yes, it's back, baby. And then it's dead again.
I don't believe it's actually gone. But yeah.
Well, let's just say Aiden's showrunner plan ties into bringing Gallifrey back.
By one funny thing as well, you mentioned Chibnall funny dialogue. There's a scene where the car gets taken over, which again is a great scene.
I know what you're gonna say.
But Jodie's literally in the passenger seat and the car's driving itself, and the doctor literally says, "Someone's driving this car, and it isn't me." You're not even behind the steering wheel, love.
No, my favorite
Who
one.
else could it be?
My favorite one, which I thought you were gonna say, was when she goes, "If I take this big mirror and reflect the light back at it," and it's like, just do it. You don't have to tell us what you're doing, woman. This is a big fucking finish. You know.
And someone's driving this car, and it's not me. No shit. We can literally see you sat in the passenger seat.
But
Funny.
I did think
Good
Jodie
stuff.
was great in the episode.
Nah, she is. She is. She does her best with the material she got. I even listened to a podcaster, Mike, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Mike Yates.
He recommended, and it was one with Chibnall on it. And he generally, like, I've said this every week, like, when I diss the Chibnall era a little bit, I still think Chibnall was just like a nice guy, and I generally think like no one came into this to make a bad show.
No.
Some things went wrong and a bit silly along the way, but he's a sweet guy. Like, he actually does care.
Little sweetheart.
Bit like me, you know.
Wouldn't go that far.
Maybe a little hard to love at first, but once you get, I don't know.
A decade into our friendship, but I'm still not sure I'm there yet, Connor.
Has it been a decade?
Fucking feels like it. We've
Wow, so fucking comedian over here.
2022 was our decade anniversary. So 13 years of nothing but friendship. Right?
13 years.
Thanks.
13 years.
Okay.
So, next week we're doing Orphan 55.
Well, let's just finish up on this. I thought.
Oh, you got more to say about this trash episode?
What the fuck?
Okay.
I was just gonna say.
I haven't eaten all day. I'm tired.
Series 12. I haven't had dinner yet.
I got a
hungry.
burrito at home that's calling my name.
I had a burrito for lunch.
Where'd you get it from?
Sombreros.
I got it from Taco Bell. They do good vegetarian ones.
That's fair enough.
Have you gone there?
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, it's mid. No, I've never gone.
I've been twice, and both times I felt like my arteries were going like. But I've never tried the vegetarian options, and I do not understand. I've never had to have that be an issue in terms of dictating where I go, so I respect.
I
that.
like Zamburos, but it's just quite expensive.
It is expensive, but it's so fucking good. Oh my god,
it is. But
I have it once a week.
At Taco Bell, you can get like a full like meal for like $15. When like if you go to Zamburos, again, really good quality shit, but you know it's like $15 for like a burrito.
But that's a meal. That fills me up.
It is big though.
Yeah,
it is big.
Big Daddy, man. If that
you
was...
get those big, extra big ones, bro.
I know. I accidentally got one today.
It's like a horse cock.
Sometimes I. Sometimes
like that next time you're eating it.
Well, like I will, and I'll devour that shit. When I go in, I go, hey, can I have a beef burrito, please? And sometimes I go, oh, sorry, did you say big burrito? And I'll say, no, beef burrito, and they're like, yep. And what meat do you want in that? And I'll be like, no. I said. But I'm too awkward to be like...
You want beef with me, bro? I just said.
So often, yeah, they think I'm saying big burrito, and then I end up paying a lot more than I would like to.
They are big, though.
They're very big. Too big for me. I
only had one of them when I had COVID, and for the first time. And I remember getting it and feeling so sick and like eating like 2 bites and went...
You ever had Guzman Y. Gomez or Mad Max?
I've had it like once or twice, and the reason I went there is because they had...
Is this Guzman?
Yeah, it's because they had plant-based meat there.
Cool.
And it's the worst plant-based meat I've ever tried.
Right.
It was very chewy.
I don't like Guzman.
And tasted... I don't know what it tasted like. It kind of felt like I was chewing on like plastic. Which is a bad representation of plant-based food because it actually can be really nice.
Last time I was at Guzman, I was out in the city with friends. And we were a bit drunk, but not rowdy or annoying.
A bit groggy.
But, I mean, we probably were a bit. But anyways, we went and we were like, Guzman! My man. We went in and just brother. Like, you know how like usually, you know, if you're going to takeaway with a group or whatever, you'll just get like the takeaway. You won't get dine in because you don't know what the vibe is or anything. Mm-hmm. So half of us got takeaway, half of us got dine in. Mm-hmm. And those of us that got takeaway got asked to leave and not sit with our friends because we didn't say dine in.
Wow.
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Can I dine in, please?
Yeah, honestly,
just a crumb, please.
Stupid. I got salty at them.
Yeah,
I did, and I don't get salty at... Even if people are wrong, I don't get salty, but I was salty at these fuckers, probably because I was drunk.
Yeah, getting food when you're drunk in the city is always like...
a shit show.
I said to... I was like ordering some food when I was in the city last, and I was like... She just like... Again, I kind of hate... the only reason I bring up vegetarian people is just to be like cringy.
It's like you're 100th time in the show.
On purpose.
Oh, so all the cringe that you say is on purpose.
I have not said it 100 times. Anyway, but I was trying to explain. Right. I was like,
that makes sense.
No meat, and bless her, she English wasn't her first language.
You're like no meat, and she's like
no
more meat.
No, I'm like no
extra,
and she's like chicken. No beef. No lamb. No meat, and she's like, what
Fish.
other animal could I possibly slaughter for you?
Monkey.
I'm like, no, none. And she had to bring her like husband over, and he's like, no, me. And I was like, no, please, all good. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, great, okay.
But Mad Max is very good as well. Anyways,
my have any of these restaurants in the UK, which is where our audience are probably from.
But who the fuck cares? They're a burrito Mexican shop, basically Mexican.
But yeah, I got a burrito when I go home. It's gonna be very nice. I can't wait to eat it.
Yeah, I think I have some Asian food upstairs. My point that I was going to say before we started having this weird talk,
Playing Thieves,
was about the TARDIS. So, Series 11, TARDIS looks
Stairs.
Series 13, I think it took a step back and didn't look as good. Series 12, I think the lighting is really nice in it. And especially in like that second last scene where it was all blue. Why don't we get more of that shit, you know? Give me the LGBT rainbow in this fucking TARDIS, man.
Stairs.
The stairs were a good addition, and that final shot where she stands and her face is all blue and she's like, that was cool. Did you like Sasha going like, I wasn't going to make it easy for you? Did you finally get to see his master outfit?
I thought it was okay.
All right, well, fucking.
So, do we give a rating for both, or is it just the one each?
Both part. I've literally answered this already for you, Connor. We give them both parts. You're pulling my fucking. You're pulling my puss, mate. You're pulling my puss.
We've had a bit of a confrontational episode.
I love it.
Right, I was throats a little bit today.
I think it's kind of hot when we do that kind of thing, you know.
Interesting. That's not how I received it, but okay.
I like a bad romance.
I guess. Season 12.
Caught in a bad romance. Romance.
Have you even made the season 12?
Yeah, I have. Thank you. Okay.
I try, love.
So we drew in the quiz this week. I just got to draw that into my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So I guess we get like a point each. I guess.
Sure, whatever. I mean, I should be winning, but whatever.
Oh, you're such a twat. All right, what do you want to give Spyfall, the 2-part story, out of 10?
I am going to give Spyfall Part 1 and 2. I'm just kidding. There. I'm going to give it a... I thought about giving it a 7.5, but I think Part 2 kind of lets it down a little bit, so I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, or a nice round 7.
I'm thinking 7. A strong 7 to a light 7.5.
I'm giving it a 7. And it will be... I'll do a fist bump, but I will say this is a strong 7 to a light 6.5 to me. But I enjoyed it, and it was good fun. Okay? Why are you confused? Can you compute? You look like you got sparks and steam coming out of you.
Yeah, because I meme Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest mutant nerd, when I do that bit. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to say, I'm thinking a strong... You should have said a strong 6.5 to a light 7.
No.
It doesn't work the other way around. You can't say I'm thinking a strong 6.5.
Why can't I say that?
Because it's not how he does it.
That's just wrong. That's
I'm
stupid.
copying. You know the needle drop?
No,
it's a big,
I'm pissed off.
You're not very.
Done.
You don't know a lot about. You don't know a lot of culture references, do you? You don't watch a lot of YouTube, do you?
No, YouTube's for fucking nerds. Hey, listen.
He is the internet's busiest music nerd.
No, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube anymore. Although I did when I was young.
Oh, great. Thanks.
No, I actually don't really watch any. I watch a couple of Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman movie reviews every now and then, and of course when Crispy and Josh and the Goats upload, I'll jump in on those.
Great, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, Connor, next week Orphan 55, which is going to be funny.
Yeah, it's got...
the Benny count.
Yeah, it's got...
Benny.
I forget his name now.
Benny.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about Jay from the In-Betweeners.
Yeah, Jay. I forget his name now, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. Good fun.
James Buckley?
Guys, make sure you subscribe. James Buckley sounds right. We have an array of content coming out on the channel over the next week.
Vlog.
Tomorrow you are going to see the interview with a bit more extended content outside of it. You're going to see the full vlog of our weekend with Crispy Pro. We're going to continue rolling out the classic Doctor Who archive 50% reviews. We're going to be finishing off the David Tennant era in those this week. And clips galore. You know how it works, guys. So make sure you subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify and that, give us a 5-star review. Connor and I will try to be less angry next week. Holy fuck, man. I'm just here. I'm just trying to make sure everyone knows what they're doing, okay? I'm just trying to be...
No, you're good. You're fine. You're just...
No, I'm just trying to fucking run the show, you know?
Mate, I wish that...
I don't just rock up
I wish Aiden lived in Brisbane and Crispy lived here.
Oh, I bet you fucking do wish that. You know,
I don't. I love you.
Josh commented today and was like, you know...
That had nothing to do with me.
If Connor, you know, if
brought it up.
If Aiden never quits, then you know I'll do it with you if you move to Adelaide. And I can tell the moment you read that you were like,
no,
should I move to Adelaide? I can tell there was like
stop assuming
part of you
inside of you
and I. Part of you in your inside was like, I'm gonna move to Adelaide. I'm gonna do it.
You're assuming, which I hate.
All right.
And by the way, you're the one who brought it up last week. I didn't mention once about quitting. That was you. That was all you.
You asked me if I quit,
and the fans clearly are upset about you saying that. So.
I don't give a fuck.
This
episode is going to make me quit. Can we sing this song now, Connor?
Alright, it's Aiden and Connor's podcast. They're doing
This podcast has got this low that you're now using a pen. You're using a pen to... Back in the day, we had a harmonica.
Yeah, I need to find that again.
No, you don't. That was horrible when you had a harmonica.
I kept that shit fucking going, baby.
I know. I'm editing the old episodes of 50%, and I'm like, fucking hell, this harmonica. But I kind of like it for the OG fans. That should be some merch.
As Dylan said,
We should have like a 50% harmonica.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, engraved.
I like it. I thought it was funny.
Can be engraved and say,
bit of a musical.
Suck my nuts.
You know, a bit of a musical artist myself, and played a lot of. What? What's so fucking funny?
You're such a nut.
I played so many instruments at high school.
I'm a bit of a musician myself, you know.
Violin, trombone.
Yeah, I played the guitar,
piano.
I sang songs in musicals.
Drums. That's
You
just
remember
to name
me?
a few.
Where's the job?
Yeah, I do remember. I remember my fucking ears hurting afterwards.
Yeah, that's why I only ever got one singing solo line.
I'm sorry, I didn't go to see you in Fame.
That was the one time I actually sang a solo line, and it was dreadful, but it kind of fit the character, so it was okay.
That's what. I wonder how you got that role.
By being funny. Mr. Funny Man.
Nah.
What's that supposed to mean? How did I get that role?
Well, you were very close with the teacher who.
Yeah, well, how about the fact that I spent 7 years acting my heart off and going to external workshops at least once a week, being good in drama classes, being very committed, never missing rehearsals.
You literally fucking argue about teacher in year 12.
Yeah, but that's not the teacher. That teacher didn't give me the lead role.
No,
the teacher that did.
Being good at drama classes.
The teacher that did, I went to the UK with.
Teacher.
Yeah, well, she shouldn't have fucking directed the way she did, okay? I'm kidding. I was very out of line to do what I did there, but it's a funny
young,
story.
it's fine. Like, we all do dumb shit when we're young.
Yeah, like start this fucking podcast.
I blew up a speaker in music class once.
You blew up a speaker?
Yeah.
Was this with TNT?
No, it was just too loud.
TNT, dynamite, TNT.
Watch it explode.
Bound.
Hey.